See your face across the room from me. Heart's racing and it's getting pretty hard to breathe. The lights dance on both their faces. Your eyes, they sparkle bright. The beating of my heart draws closer, but my brain is losing sight. I don't wanna fall in love tonight. I don't wanna fall in love tonight.
Map of the Month as a concept is about the community at TWHL. It's about involving every single Dick, Tom and Harry and giving them a chance to have their say in which maps are entered into the prestigious halls of the Map of the Month winners page. So when only one person votes, you can go fuck yourself. We'll review a map we like. And it didn't take much discussion. In fact, it didn't take any discussion. When prompted with the idea of reviewing a past favourite from the TWHL map vault, the decision was unanimous. Carbaseus by K7, released way back in August 2004 and now our first ever posthumous winner of the award. So why is it that 8 years after its release it still sits so firmly in our nostalgic memories? I think it's probably because if it was released today you wouldn't bat an eyelid. The compile tools and methods to circumvent goal sources limits have been constantly improving over the past decade, and that, combined with vastly improved system performances from the average player, mean that maps of this scale aren't actually such a big deal anymore. But back in 2004, holy shit! At that time unique themes like this just didn't exist. I actually distinctly remember there used to be websites with scripts that would help you pick a theme from a randomised library. You'd hit the generate button and it'd present you with a sentence like, Belgian terrorists try to bomb a muffin factory next to a submarine base. Supposedly in order to ignite your mapping flair. I don't think K7 could even comprehend that. Why, he would ask, why would I want to limit my creativity to a set of unlikely boundaries that I didn't even come up with? Instead, what he came up with was more like a mix between a modern art gallery and a theatre, crashing through a dream taken from the mind of Charlie Sheen. It shows a flair for design that simply didn't exist in game levels back then. And yes, it shows its age. The texture scale is more stretched out than Greece's budget, the lighting has fewer bounces than a concrete football, and the architecture, while certainly beautiful and ambitious, is definitely scooting along the lines of blocky. But none of that matters. It's a delight and a privilege to experience, even today, and there's more artistic vision in a single brush of this map than most mappers employ over an entire project. Unfortunately, this is where this review takes a somewhat misty-eyed, sad note. While a map this scale is certainly still amazing to look at these days, it definitely isn't as fun to play anymore. It was designed in a time where HLDM had a serious player base, and if you can imagine these views with 20 players all goss jumping about the joint and blowing each other up, you can briefly glimpse at the marvel this once had. But it's 2012, and it's almost impossible to find a game of HLDM with more than 4 players, and such a small player count results in some seriously drawn out, dull combat. There are very few problems that this map can present you that can't be overcome simply by being the player who owns the crossbow, and it can be very frustrating to get repeatedly killed without knowing where it came from. Overall, it's absolutely worth downloading this. Bask in it for 5 minutes every time you get Mapper's Block and use it to inspire you. This is creativity unrestrained, somehow achieved in one of the most restraining 3D engines in existence. It was way ahead of its time, and while K7 doesn't visit TWHL anymore, I hope he knows that his work had such a lasting impact on some of its members.